Welcome back. Now I invite the captain of St. Joseph Degree College, Dr. Shanta ma'am, our beloved principal, to give her opening remarks. Over to Shanta ma'am.
Thank you, Lata. Hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes, madam.
Am I? Yeah, thank you. Good afternoon to one and all. I am Dr. Shanta, Principal St. Joseph's Degree College, Kurnool. It's a moment of great pleasure and privilege for me to welcome you all today to this faculty development program on exploring the facts in writing a research article organized by our Department of Computer Science. On behalf of management, staff, and students, I extend a warm welcome to the Honorable Research Person, Dr. Rajesh Kalluri, Senior Assistant Professor, Vellore Institute of Technology, Tamil Nadu. I express my gratitude to Dr. Rajesh for accepting our invitation and giving his valuable time and sharing his knowledge with us. Thank you very much, sir. St. Joseph Degree College is governed by St. Joseph Educational Society. It's a self-financed college without grant in aid. We made a humble beginning in 1994, guided by the norms of our beloved founders, Dr. Francis Kattivi, Sri M.A.P. Swamikannu Pillai, Saint Sister Chancellors, Mr. Mazhar Hussain, Srimati C. Rojamma, and Ms. Y. Shaurilu Reddy to work for the cause of education. Indisputably, St. Joseph is a premier institution in the Rayalaseema districts of Andhra Pradesh. The management of the college never compromised with the quality, hence, the students are afforded a high quality of university education with small classes, state-of-art resources within a strong educational environment. We are presently offering 11 courses in UG programs and 2 PG programs with 3,500 students. Teaching fraternity of St. Joseph nurture the students in an incredible way, which is reflected in the placements of our students in various reputed multinational companies year after year. I congratulate the Department of Computer Science for their efforts in arranging this FDP, and I wish all the best for all the participants. Happy learning, happy sharing, and happy caring. Thank you. Over to you, Lata ma'am. Over to you, Lata ma'am.
Thank you, madam. Now it's time to talk about why the topic exploring the facts in writing a research article has been chosen for today's FDP. Research is a process of solving problems and finding facts in an organized way. Research is done by applying what is known and building on it. Additional knowledge can be discovered by providing existing theories and by trying to better explain observations. Research work is a work concerning research into or investigation into a subject, topic, etc. Teachers can use research findings to improve their competence and teaching learning process. So, if a teacher wants to be effective, they should be engaged with research and keep up to date with recent
by
academic
providing
developments
existing theories
in
and by
subjects
trying to better
in
explain
education
observations.
overall. Research-rich
Teacher's work
environment
is a
are
work
indeed
concerning
best
research into or investigation into a subject, topic, etc.
Teachers can use research findings to improve their competence and teaching learning process. So, if a teacher wants to be effective, they should be engaged with research and keep up to date with recent
By
academic
providing
developments
existing theories
in
and by
subjects
trying to better
in
explain
education
observations.
overall. Research-rich
Teacher's work
environment
is a
are
work
indeed
concerning
best
research into or investigation into a subject, topic, etc. Teachers can use research findings to improve their competence and teaching learning process. So, if a teacher wants to be effective, they should be engaged with research and keep up to date with recent by providing existing theories and by trying to better explain observations. Research-rich environment is a work concerning research into or investigation into a subject, topic, etc. Teachers can use research findings to improve their competence and teaching learning process. So, if a teacher wants to be effective, they should be engaged with
research-rich environment are indeed best high-performing education systems.
and by
Our
trying to
institute
better
pursues
explain
providing time,
observations.
opportunity, and encouragement for teachers to conduct their
Research
environment
is a
or
work
as research cannot
research
stop
into or investigation into a subject, topic,
sustained work the
etc.
teacher study.
Teachers can use
Today's nation
research
level
findings
activities
to
on
improve their
exploring the
competence
facts
and
and writing
teaching
a
learning
research
process.
article
So,
provides the
if a
important
teacher wants to be
aspects
effective,
related
they
to the
should be
research paper
engaged with
writing.
research
Research
and
environment are indeed
best
best
high-performing
high-performing
education
education
theories
systems.
and by
Our
trying to
institute
better
pursues
explain
providing time,
observations.
opportunity, and encouragement for teachers to conduct their
Teacher's work
environment
is a
or
work
as research cannot stop
into or investigation into a subject, topic,
sustained work the
etc.
teacher study.
Teachers can use
Today's nation
research
level
findings
activities
to
on
improve their
exploring the
competence
facts
and
and
teaching
writing a
learning
research
process.
article
So,
provides the
if a
important
teacher wants to be
aspects
effective,
related to
they
the
should be
research paper
engaged with
writing.
research
Research
and
environment are indeed
best
best
high-performing
high-performing
education
education
theories and by
our
trying to
institute
better
pursues
explain
providing time,
observations.
opportunity, and encouragement for teachers to conduct their
Teacher's work is a work
as research cannot stop
or investigation into a subject, topic,
sustained work the
etc.
teacher study.
Teachers can use
Today's nation
research
level
findings
activities
to
on
improve their
exploring the
competence
facts
and
and writing
teaching
a
learning
research
process.
article
So,
provides the
if a
important
teacher wants to be effective, they should be
research paper
engaged with
writing.
research
Research
and
environment are indeed
best
best
high-performing
high-performing
education
education
theories and by
our
trying to
institute
better
pursues
explain
providing time,
observations.
opportunity, and encouragement for teachers to conduct their
Teacher's work is a work
as research cannot stop
or investigation into a subject, topic,
work the
etc.
teacher study.
Teachers can use research findings to improve their competence and teaching learning process.
Participants, am I audible?
Okay, continue. Thank you. Continue. I get that. So, over to speaker, Rajini.
Now, now it's over to Rajni ma'am to introduce the resource person of national level FDP.
Thank you, Lata ma'am. In a globalized world, the role of research in academic institutions is significant for its sustainability and development, and it is imperative to know knowledge-driven growth based on innovation. The quality of research work directly translates to the quality of teaching and learning in the classroom. thereby benefiting the students, the society, and the country. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great pleasure for me to introduce today's resource person, Dr. Rajesh Kalluri. Dr. Rajesh completed his BTech from JNTU Hyderabad and MTech from Acharya Nagarjuna University, Guntur, Andhra Pradesh. Dr. Rajesh did his doctoral degree from Vellore Institute of Technology, Vellore, Tamil Nadu. He gained 11 years of teaching experience and worked in various organizations, namely Vrindavan Institute of Technology and Science, Kurnool, Andhra Pradesh, Schools of Information Technology, VIT University, Vellore, Tamil Nadu. Dr. Rajesh Garu worked as a visiting professor in Gondan University of Technology, China. He contributed his service as a Board of Studies coordinator, industry placement coordinator, IQAC in charge, member in CAT examination committee, committee member for ABET and NAC accreditation process for School of Information Technology and Engineering at VIT University, Vellore. His main aim is to get associated with a progressive organization that gives him scope to get upgraded with the latest trends. He is currently working as associate professor in Schools of Information Technology, VIT, Tamil Nadu. He has published 30 different research papers in Scopus, participated and organized various workshops, FDPs, and seminars. I can confidently say that Dr. Rajesh Kalluri deliberation and participation will definitely benefit us all and enable us to sharpen our ability to prepare and publish papers in our respective specialized subjects. Over to you, Dr. Rajesh Kalluri.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the introduction, ma'am. I'm audible to everyone here. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it is fine.
Okay, just one second. I'm happy to, share some of my experiences regarding research. So hope everyone, are looking forward towards the presentation here. One second. Hello, are you able to see my screen? Hello, professors. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, already it's been late, I think. So sorry for the interruption, due to some technical glitches and all that. Right. So we will straightly go with what are the different types of research and why this research is especially needed for all the academics now. Usually this research, when we talk about this research is from the scientist especially. So usually the scientists are used to do the research, but later on it has come to all the NITs, IITs, and then premier institutions, and then even now it has gone to the degree level standards also. So even we used to do research in our day-to-day life. Whatever the product which we wanted to buy, or whatever the drugs which we wanted to buy, each and everything we used to do the research. But how effectively we have to do the research in terms of academics, or maybe in terms of some other aspects. So we will be touching on all those things here. So what is research? I'll be just focusing on a very simple definition. So all the information which I gathered here are completely from the internet sources, because everyone has to do the research from the available materials only. So we cannot get the things from our own. So everything has to, everything has to be get from any online sources. But the only thing is we will be going with some kind of innovative techniques and all that we will be touching on in our presentation. So this research is nothing but it is a systematic investigation. Where in which we will be discussing about a specific problem, and in order to solve that problem, what we used to do is we used to go with some kind of referring some materials, and finally where we will be ending up means we will be ending up with some kind of research conclusions. That may be a false conclusion, or that may be a true conclusion, or that may be ending up in between. Whatever it is, we will be ending up with some kind of conclusion. So all the time we will not be getting the good results. So in this point, I would like to just talk about 1 minute on this COVID. So this COVID-19, already many people are doing research, but then there are some kind of results are coming, but how effective the results are, we are not able to get the exact medicine. So that's how the research will be ending up with any kind of result. That may be in a positive way, or that may be in a negative way. Especially if you see the chemistry faculty, I can say, they will be doing up with so many kind of experiments. Even if they get some kind of a false statement, so again it will be coming as a thesis. And again it will be coming as a research article saying that if we mix these kind of chemicals, then absolutely what is going to happen is we are going to get a bad result, and which is very harmful. So research can be either a positive or a negative. But only the thing is we need to have a positive attitude and positive mindset to go forward. So it is a process of solving problems and finding facts in an organized way. So whatever I have mentioned here as organized way, which is very, very important. If you are not making the materials, or if you are not making our conclusions in an organized way, then for the forthcoming generations, they will not be knowing exactly what we have done and how we have done. So that's why everything has to be in an organized way and as well as in a structured way. Mainly it begins with an observation. So if we don't have an observation, even when we look at, when the child is growing, when the kid is growing, so how the child is able to accompany with the, various kinds of issues or various kind of learning techniques. Probably you might have experienced now in this 2.5 month lockdown period, how your child is behaving. I don't know how many of you have observed, because that is what the point here. The research comes from the observation. So without observation, we will not become any researcher. We will not become a good researcher, I can say. So always we should have an observation. So observation makes us to become effective researcher. And also we will be touching here with the various kinds of logical reasoning, and which involves different kind of methodologies. That may be as inductive methods or maybe deductive methods. Now, what are the various types of researchers which are there? These are all there from, I can say like 50 years and 100 years, all that these types of researchers are available. Now, the first one here is a basic research. So what is this basic research? So what we are going to do in this basic research? So whatever the information that is available from the textbooks, based on that, we are researching, even we are trying to solve the problems. So even when we solve a mathematical problem, so we used to search some kind of elementary things. And then another one is applied research. So whatever the problem that has come, based on the problem, we are going to apply some new methodologies, and accordingly, we will be able to get some kind of conclusions. So that is where the applied research is. Excuse me, professors, please mute whenever you are joining. So the second one here is applied research. So what we are going to do in the applied research means we will be applying our additional technologies or additional frameworks, whatever we will be coming up with the basic research that will be applied in this second type of research, that is called applied research. And third one is problem-oriented research. So usually this problem-oriented research will be done in the marketing segments, I can say. Whatever I'm saying, like marketing segments, it need not to be in the marketing segments. It can be in all the disciplines. But why I'm focusing in the marketing strategies means when there is a, let us say, product is being launched, but that product is not getting sold. When the problem here is product, a company has released the particular product, but they are unable to sell the product because of various factors. So where in which there should be a particular and a proper research. So that's what, again, you know, there will be some set of group of users will be there, group of people, lot of experienced people will be there. They will be looking at each and every factor, and accordingly, they will be able to identify what exactly the problem is. Why this particular product is not able to reach to the people or reach to the public. So that's where problem-oriented research. The next one is qualitative research. So how much quality we are going to give, that is where in the qualitative research. Now, next one here we have is quantitative research. So this qualitative and quantitative research are very much important. So how we are going to do this quantitative research means we are going to prepare a set of questionnaire. Based on the questionnaire, we will be having some survey questions. So survey questions may be based on the problem, as I mentioned here, problem oriented, and also some of the skills are required from basic research and as well as applied research. So moreover, all the researchers, they used to talk about two types of research. Those are qualitative research and another one is quantitative research. So in this qualitative research and quantitative research, the first step is we need to analyze our problem, what exactly our problem is. And based on that, we will be preparing a list of questionnaire. On that questionnaire, again, we need to check how the questionnaire is being prepared, and accordingly, we have to send it to the real users. So when I say real users, the people who are working in that particular domain will be able to give the solutions to us, or will be able to interact with the survey questions. If you are sending to normal users or normal researchers, what is going to happen is we will be not getting the exact outcome of the survey. So that is what all about qualitative research and then quantitative research. Now, next, I just wanted to have some kind of questions here, like even I can say like facts, because the title itself is like, exploring the research. Now, the first one, how many papers are published each year? And how many articles are published or papers are published in India as well? Can anyone publish a research paper? Absolutely, yes. They need not to have any PhD degree, or they need not to be MTech graduate or MSc graduate, MSc graduates. Even the students who are doing, like BSc or BSc Computer Science, even BCom, MBA, BBA, everyone can do research, and everyone has right to publish research work. Whatever the idea that they are getting from the background analysis, from what they have studied. Only the thing they have to choose how they have to proceed further. So that is what we are going to see in all our slides now. Next one is where can I publish a research paper? there are several platforms are there. There are several domains are there. But how to choose a particular domain is suitable for our work? Even that will be addressing in our PPT. And then how do I choose a journal for a publication? The previous question is here, where can I publish a research paper? So we have various domains, as I said. The first one is like we have a journals. The second one is conferences. And the third one is book chapters. So research can be published either in the journals. Again, there are n number of journals are there. And the second one is conferences. And the next one is book chapters. So that's where we can publish our research. So research work. And how do I choose a journal or a publication? So there are some ways to find which journal is best and which journal is not appropriate. So all that we will be discussing now. And can I publish my research paper in journals free of cost? Because nowadays the research has got so many wings, I can see. So with that wings, so many people are misleading this research. People are going with different ways by which they are getting their article is getting published. And next one, how many papers should a person or a faculty or a research scholar have to get the PhD? It all depends with the university norms. If you look at 10 years before, I can see some of the researchers, they didn't even publish a paper, but then they got the PhD. So how it is possible? Because when the guide satisfies with the work, so automatically they will get the PhD. But it is not in the current situation. I'm talking about like 10 years before. Some people have, especially not in Indian context, I'm talking, the developed nations, there, if the article or if the work of that scholar is very well appreciable, then automatically what happens is the research guide or research supervisor will be having a right to issue the PhD degree. Later, the works can be published in somewhere or other conferences. So how many papers should a scholar has to publish for getting a PhD means it is absolutely with the norms of university. So some universities will say like 2 or 3 conferences are required, and some universities says that high ranking conferences are required, and another university says like journals. So all that, it all depends on the norms. But right now, getting a PhD, we have to have a good publications. So why it is good publications means ultimately you will be recognized as a good researcher outside of your institute. Which is better, either SCI or Scopus? So I should tell you what is this SCI and what is this Scopus. Probably if someone is aware of that, that's fine. If otherwise, I'll be looking at all those slides now. What is SCI and Science Citation Index? Science Citation Index is the topmost level of publishing research articles. So that is also called as clarity of indexing. Now all premier institutions, they are completely focusing their research scholars to publish the articles or to publish their work only in SCI, Science Citation Index. Earlier it was even with Scopus, again there are like paid and non-paid. So that again we will. Now, is it bad to publish low tier journals? So everywhere, even if you see a product, any product in our day-to-day living, so there will be products which are with the different prices. So what is the need of going for a better one or the price which is high? Because we will be getting a good quality in that. Apart from quantity, we need to always focus on quality. So is it bad to publish in low tier journals? Means in the beginning, usually when the people are not aware of which one is a good journal and which one is not a good journal, so they have to have a kind of systematic analysis on the list of journals, with which they will be able to find out which are all good journals and which are a medium kind of journals and which are low tier journals. So I can say here, in the beginning perspective, if you are not aware of, even if your supervisor is not aware of, what has to be done and how to proceed, we can publish our papers even in some kind of low tier journals, but we have to check what is the indexing of that journal. At least it should be indexed in Scopus. As a beginner, we have to work from, what I can say, from the low tier journals. And how do you identify a predatory journals? These predatory journals are the one, they will be having only a website. They will be having only a website. They will be having only a website, and they will not have a proper reviewers, and they will not have a proper system. So simply they will be hosting a website without any reviewers. They will be taking money, and they will not going to publish the papers. So we have to identify when we are going to submit an article, how the journal is, how the website is, who are the reviewers in that journal, and who are the editorial board members. So based on that only, we have to submit our work, because we will be doing our work for a period of 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. Simply if we are submitting to a journal and where there is no proper reviewing and where there are no proper editorial board, simply they are taking money, or even without taking money also, if they are publishing the paper, after a period of time, it will not be no more. So that journal is not going to be anywhere. So that website will also not work. So we have to be very clear and clever in choosing the journal. That is very, very important. Now I'm going to address all these questions in the coming slides here. How do I choose a journal for publication? So this is very important. As I told, there are n number of journals are there, but how you're going to choose a particular journal? Ensure that which kind of indexing you wanted to go. There are various indexing are there. The first one here is SCI, nothing but Science Citation Index. As I told, this Science Citation Index or SCI journal is the topmost preferred journals for all the researchers. Again, in that also there will be some kind of impact factor. Again, I need to tell what is that impact factor again. So there will be some kind of journals which are little, but ensure that what kind of indexing it is, whether it is SCI or whether it is Scopus. These are standard indexing. SCI, SCIE, nothing but Science Citation Index, and double SCI means Social Science Citation Index. So, and ESCI means Emerging Science Citation Index. So the root is SCI. From that only this SCIE and ESCI has come. And this SCI and SCI are a kind of, what is it, sister journals, something like that. And then next one is PubMed. So these are all some kind of indexing. And also there are n number of journals which are simply getting indexed in Google. So we need to check. So that's why the first and foremost thing is, in order to select a publication or in order to go with any publication, we have to choose which is our journal. And then you have to have a list of available journals. Let us say if I am going to select SCI, I need to look at what are all SCI journals available into my. Once the journals are being identified, then accordingly I can choose the number of available journals. If it is a computer science, then accordingly you have to search. Again, in the computer science, again there are n number of disciplines are there. Like big data is there, IoT is there, and software testing is there, cyber security is there, network security. So like that, various domains are there even in a specific subject, even in a specific domain. Again, you have to have a clear cut idea which journal will be suitable for your research work. And based on that, you are going to survey the type of articles published in them. So these are all the analysis which we have to do before submitting our work into a particular journal. So the first one is like you have to have a complete idea on which index. As I mentioned, SCI is topmost and Scopus, it is the second level. I mean, when I say SCI, SCI is followed again with the SIEE, SCIE, and next one is ESCI, and then followed by Scopus. After this, we need to compare the quality of the written work, nothing but your research work, to the work which are published in that articles. So when you compare, then you will be knowing whether your article is capable of submitting into that journal or not. Because, you know, again, the human mindset will be there when we will upload our article. And again, if it is getting rejected, then we will be feeling a lot. Because always, you know, we have to aim for a good work, and accordingly, we need to submit our article. So that is what I have mentioned here. Compare the quality of your articles to those published in those journals, and then make a list of journals with a suitable impact factor range. Next one is make sure that aim and or scope of the journals match that of your study. That is what I have addressed here already. You have to check with the what is the journal aim, and because when your work is into let us say software engineering, but you are not supposed to submit your article into a cyber security, because completely they are from a different, even though they are from a computer science background, but software engineering and cyber security are completely different domains. So it is very difficult a software engineering paper to get published in cyber security, unless and until if they have some kind of special issues. If the special issues are there, probably like cyber security in terms of some software testing or software engineering or software domain, then that will be fine. So accordingly, it is it can be done. Now the next thing is check for the types of articles published by the journals. That is what we need to have analysis on the journal website or on the publication. Check all other aspects of the journal. So when I say here all other aspects of the journal, because the journal website will clearly give the information about what they are going to do and how they are going to do. Let us say you are going to submit a paper, you are going to submit a work in that journal, then you are waiting the review for the first review probably after a month, but they will be clearly specifying that this journal is going to have only 2 issues per year. That means every year they are going to publish only in 2 issues, and even in an issue probably they might be publishing 10 to 15 articles. So on an average in a year they will be publishing around 30 to 40 papers. So that means their review process is very slow, and also they are expecting more quality on the papers what they are going to get. So that is what we have to check. The other aspects, the main thing is how many number of issues that the journal contains, whether it is 12 issues, because some journals are there, they used to publish every month. Probably those are like paid journals, even though they are indexing in Scopus, but then they will be publishing every month. So 12 issues will be there. Then next bi-monthly will be there. Some journals they used to have like bi-monthly. So that means 6 issues in a year, and some will be like a quarter. So like, accordingly they will be having only 4 issues. And then again, we need to check in each issue how many papers they are publishing. So that is what I have mentioned here. We need to compare the number of issues, how many they are publishing. And the second one is what kind of reviewers that they are having, and what is the board editorial board committee members. So these are all important things when we are submitting our work, because it is our work, not someone's work. and then make a list of journals that meets all your criteria. So once this is been complete, then accordingly we can go for submitting. So the main point is here we have to check with the number of issues in a year, and is there any open access, is there any publication, because nowadays the journals are also very clever. They are not going to mention anywhere in the journal that they are going to charge, but once the paper is accepted, they will be saying that you have to give let us say $200, something like that, as an article processing fees. So we need to thoroughly check with the guidelines of the journal. So this is how most of the people used to do when they wanted to go for a publication in terms of journal. And then the next one is here the amount of work what you will be doing, whether it is a systematic survey, because there are various ways where we can publish our articles. One is like systematic review. Systematic review, or the another one is like literature review, or another one is completely on your work. Now recently, for the past 3 months, there are n number of articles which are published on COVID-19. COVID-19, how it is affected, also past, present and future of this COVID-19. I'm just giving a rough title: past, present and future of the situations with respect to COVID-19 in India. So how it is going to be. So like that, it is a kind of review article. Or when you are going to touch on COVID-19 with the deep learning techniques or with some kind of machine learning algorithms, also that is possible. How you will be able to predict that a person is having the symptoms. Even now there are some places where they are having thermal scanners. Even with thermal scanners also, they are able to do that. Now, tools for research here. What are the different tools that generally people use all over the world for doing their research? So here, with respect to computer science, I'm saying like Python, R programming, MATLAB, and then Scilab. And if their system is not compatible in order to run, in order to have so many iterations, because their system RAM and the CPU is not enough to work with so many data sets, then they will be going with cloud sourcing, where people used to work on Google Colab. And next one is LabVIEW. This is completely LabVIEW electronic design. I mean, in order to do electronic design, people used to use Eagle and KiCad. Similarly, I'm touching on other disciplines like electronic design, and similarly TCAD, which is also for device modeling, electronics people, and similarly for circuit simulators, ORCAD and multisim. And when people wanted to go for 3D computer design, then they will be using FreeCAD and SketchUp. And similarly, mathematics people here, Sage Math, that is a very good tool for doing their research work in terms of their linear algebra or calculus, integral equations and all that. Sage Math, and similarly GeoGebra and SymPy and Maxima. But I heard most of the people with whom I talk, they are doing in Sage Math. Even mathematics professors also, they used to do their research in MATLAB. Even electronics people also, they used to do their research in MATLAB. So, but there are some specific, these are all the various tools wherein which we can do the research. Next one is what are the tools that are used for document preparation? Usually when we go for document preparation, we used to use our Word document. But when you do Word document, if there is some kind of mistake, especially when you are having references, when you want to change some reference, it is very difficult in the Word document. Let us say in the introduction, you have used a second reference, but after adding some of the other content, it has to be like, fifth reference. Then you have to change entire document. with respect to reference. So that's why there are very good tools, especially I use, I always prefer to use LaTeX. In that, I will be using Text Studio. And similarly, there are other kind of platforms with LaTeX, that is MikTeX and TextMaker, Lix, BibTeX. BibTeX is amazing for arranging our references, because the main difficulty is in arranging the references and according to their citations. And there is also another one which is called EndNote, Mendeley, and this overleaf is most of the people now, whoever are different places, if they wanted to use only one resource, that I prefer always overleaf. The people who are in other countries, other states, even overleaf is a very good platform, and this overleaf is completely from LaTeX environment only. Whatever the document which you will be doing here, accordingly the updates will be done with the multiple people as well. And then next one is Pandoc and Joterio. These are all the other, there are n number of tools are there, no doubt in that. So whichever is user friendly, accordingly people can use that. So I feel LaTeX will be a very good tool. So it is very easy also. All the packages are completely available in the online resources. So easily we can download and then we can get that. And then next one is here Beamer. So this Beamer is also from LaTeX environment. This Beamer is especially used for presentations. When they want to prepare some kind of PPT, Beamer is absolutely good. Next, tools for to design diagrams. There is one tool called Microsoft Visio, because when we are drafting a paper, diagrams are also very important. Without a proper diagram, again reviewer will be telling us to redraw the diagram. So that's why we have to select some appropriate tools like icons, and all the architectures has to be given in a cleared and concrete structure. So that we can use some of the tools here like Microsoft Visio and eDraw Max. So these are all the other tools. And when you look at Xmind and Mind Manager, Xmind and Mind Manager, these are the tools which are especially used for brainstorming and mind mapping. So I suggest you can use these two tools when you are in the beginning of writing an article. So it will give you a tree structured notations. So what has to be done and which paragraph has to come next, everything you can decide by using these two tools. It's a tree structure which has a number of branches like that. It is a very good way of using Xmind and Mind Manager. There are some other tools are also there for mind mapping and brainstorming. And then there are other tools for graphing and as well as data analysis. So nowadays, data analysis is much more important in a research articles. So Origin Pro is one for graphing, and Python is there for again data analysis. And in Python especially, NumPy is a package, and then Matplotlib is also another package. They are extremely beautiful in making the graphs, because when you look at the paper, everything should be appropriate. Even if the figures or graphs are not appropriate, not clear, then reviewers' comments will be coming to change them and specify in a clear way. And there is also another tool which is called R programming, R tool, and MATLAB also we can generate graphs, and Sigma plot, Sigma Excel. This when you are using Excel also we can generate graphs. No doubt in that. Excel also, by using Excel we can do some kind of data analysis, but in a very easy way if you wanted to do, and if you want to bring some kind of additional colors, additional parameters, then absolutely these are the tools where you can use for generating graphs and as well as for getting the analytical data and as well as statistical data. Statistical data especially are tool only. And after that, there are some kind of identifications are required when you're a researcher. Being a researcher, whatever the work which we are doing, we need to publish our, or we need to promote our works. So how we are going to promote our works means we need to have IDs. I mean, we need to have the login IDs in terms of anyhow, you know, Scopus is one of the database, as I mentioned, and RCID ID, because nowadays all the journals and all the conferences, they are asking to have ORC ID as a login ID. That is a unique number. And then after that, when we want to promote our work, that will be Publon's ResearchGate, Microsoft Academic, and then Researcher ID, even LinkedIn. So these are all the ways where we are going to promote our work. Especially most of the researchers will be available in the ResearchGate. So when you wanted to have collaboration with other people, because you know, always research should explore with the various collaborations, multidisciplinary or transdisciplinary, because research which you are doing only from your subject will not fetch you, will not give you any wings to fly. So absolutely what we have to do is we have to have a multidisciplinary research or maybe a transdisciplinary research. Then only our collaborations will, you know, be more. Our collaborations will be explored. Then easily it is, you know, to get recognized, because whatever the work we are doing, we have to get recognized. So these are all. I prefer, you know, to have your IDs in all these websites, so that that will be helpful for your institute to be for you know, an NAAC purpose or any other accreditations purpose. Also, these are all very important. They will be focusing on how many of your employees or how many of your colleagues are being associated with Publons, or how many of you are associated in research IDs, research gates. So all these things. Next one is databases and indexing. The first one here, Web of Science, nothing but SCI, Science Citation Index, which is in the top priority. Then next one is Scopus. These are the two famous, not famous, I can say, well-known, and which has a high impact in the research domain. The entire research domain, if we have Web of Science articles, especially from Science Citation Index, then absolutely your reputation will be somewhere high. And then we will be having all other things like, you know, Scopus, and IEEE is also there. IEEE journals are also indexed in SCI. That is what I am saying, a database which has various journals. That may be from IEEE, or that may be from Springer, or that may be from Elsevier. There are different set of journals are there. They will be indexed in, like how our, you know, like when we see JNTU. So JNTU is with Kakinada, JNTU with Hyderabad, JNTU with Anantapur. So I think even JNTU with Pulivendra, yeah, I'm sorry. So JNTU with Pulivendra. So these are all the four different from JNTU itself. And again, when we look at SVU, that is a separate university. So like that, you know, affiliated colleges are also there. Now the point here is which one is top. So when an MSET student, he wanted to select a particular college, he will be looking at some kind of institutions. Even when a parent wants to join his ward in a particular institute, they will be searching what kind of placements that the university has, that or that the college has. So all that is like, again here, Web of Science. Web of Science is the topmost one, and then next one is Scopus, and after that others. Even every country has its own databases. But when you see all among the globe, Web of Science is top. The entire world will be looking always SCI journals, which will have more and more impact factors. And then Google Scholar, all predatory journals will also be indexed in Google Scholar. So my humble request for everyone is to check what are the guidelines and who are the reviewers of that journal, and accordingly you should submit an article. Even though some journals now, in a fascinated way, they are saying that they are from, I mean, they are approved from UGC, which we should not, just like that blindly, we should not go and submit our article into that journal. So that is what we have to check, what kind of database it is. And this CNKI, it is for China database. And DBLP is also very good, and which is equivalent to Scopus. This Scopus is started in 2004, but whereas Web of Science is, I think 1940s, somewhere in 1940s, this Web of Science articles have started. So these Web of Sciences are different, like as I mentioned, yeah, 1940s. So Web of Science is in 1945. So that much weightage the articles and the journals are having when we publish in Web of Science, especially Science Citation Index and then Social Science Citation Index. And also some of the conferences are also there. So usually when we wanted to publish some papers, we can publish in Scopus, or we publish in Web of Science, or even we can publish in conferences, or we can publish in book chapters. And recently the conferences are also being organized in such a way that they are also getting indexed in Web of Science. Even there are so many engineering colleges, they used to organize some kind of conferences, national level conference, something like that. And, but where those papers are going to publish, they are not going to publish anywhere. Their work is not going to publish. They will be only, giving a book where the abstracts will be given. So we have to choose an appropriate journal. Then now I want to focus on what is impact factor. So this impact factor will be there for each and every journal, starting from, I can say, like Web of Science journals or Scopus journals. How to calculate this impact factor means I have given a simple formula here from online sources only. Let us take, we are going to work with some publication. So where the impact factor of a journal is, let us say 41.57. How it has come? So it is like the number of citations of that particular journal -1, y -1, and similarly y -2. That is the number of years. And then the number of publications. So accordingly, it is going to get the impact factor of a journal. So we need to very, if our work is very extraordinary, then we need not to publish in the Scopus journals. Directly, we can proceed with impact factor journals, which are like 1, 2, or whatever. Especially this Nature journal, which is having the highest impact factor, which is 41. And if you are getting a paper in this, it's like wow. And we need not to be only one author or two authors. When we wanted to collaborate with so many other professors in and outside of India, then accordingly we can collaborate with them, and accordingly the points can be shared and the research ideas can be shared. Then we can get the papers done. The next one is H index. What is this H index here? So H index is used to measure productivity and as well as citation, or in another way also I can say, if researcher is having H index value as 20, then the researcher we can say that he is doing very good. If it is more than 20, let us say 40, then we can say that researcher is outstanding. And if it is 60, then it is excellent. And getting H index 10 is also very, very difficult. And these H index will be measured with the various sources I have mentioned here. One source is from Scopus, another source is from Web of Science, another source is Google Scholar. Even getting H index 10 in Google Scholar is also very, very tough. And when you see Scopus, because Google Scholar will be having all the journals, but whereas Scopus will be of those journals. And Web of Science, again, it is of only to the limited journals which are available from that particular domain. And next one is where we can publish the paper. Again, as I mentioned here, the transactions, they are the topmost. They are from SCI again. SCI or even ACM transactions are also there. IEEE transactions are also there. Elsewhere. So also we have other kind of journals and then conferences, especially international conferences. Even when we look at the list of conferences which are in the top, they used to give the ranking as A plus A. And if you want to get a conference, in that paper, I mean, if our article wants to publish in that particular conference, then we need to pass at least 3 to 4 review rounds. And getting in A plus conference is equal to getting a paper in transaction. And book chapters are the one where some kind of review works can also be published in the book chapters. And these are the journal finders here. So you know what kind of work which you have done, but you are unable to find which journal is appropriate to you. Then you can select, these are the 3 possible ways. The first one is journal finder from elsewhere, and the second one is journal suggester from Springer, and then journal finder again from Wiley. So what you need to do in that is, already your work is completed, but you don't know, I mean, you are in a dilemma to submit your work in elsewhere journal or a Springer journal or in some other kind of publisher. So easily this website will suggest you which journal would be appropriate for your work. So what you are supposed to do is, you have to, this is one of the screenshot here I have taken from the journal finder website. You have to give your title, and then you have to copy paste your abstract and the keywords, and then field of research. Then accordingly it will search and it will shortlist the number of available journals from elsewhere only, not from other journal, not from other databases. So accordingly you can easily get which journal will be suitable for your work. And the same thing even for the Springer also. And another good thing now, what these publishers they are doing is, they are providing some kind of services, like the first one here, what I mentioned from Springer, and the second one elsewhere. So even if your English is not appropriate, but your work is good, so you can, you can check with the journal, but accordingly you have to pay some amount of money to make your English in a very well way. Or again, if the even some kind of researchers, what they used to do is, they used to get the diagrams to be appropriate. Even then these Springer and elsewhere, they are all licensed, completely licensed in the research domain. So they will be guiding you, and they will be helping you to redraw or to rephrase your English, everything, or even they will do the formatting, everything will be done by these service providers. And the next one is here plagiarism. So when you are writing your article, make sure that you are not going to copy any single sentence from any of the online sources or even offline sources, because immediately there are tools like Grammarly or Authenticate or Ginger or Plagiarism or Plagiarism Tracker. These are all a few tools here, but there are several tools available with all the institutions. They will be identifying how much plagiarism, nothing but how much similarity is there from your article. If it is more than even IEEE conferences or ACM conferences, they will be clearly mentioning the guidelines that plagiarism, nothing but similarity index should not be more than 12%. If it is 15%, immediately they will reject, even though your work is appropriate. But if it is 13% also, they will reject, because they are going to do the first check, which is plagiarism. When you submit the article, all the journals, all the conferences, what they will do is, they will check how much plagiarism is there. If it is not with their threshold value, because they will be fixing 12, or some journals will also fix like till 15, not more than that. If it is more than that, absolutely your article will be rejected in the very first step itself. before assigning to any of the reviewers, it will be done. So that's why we need to maintain, a similarity. We should not have any similarity in our articles. We should not copy. We can rewrite that. Then there are, some kind of free access if you wanted to download the papers, because every institute cannot provide access to download papers from IEEE or papers from ACM or Springer, Elsevier and all that. So there are some free access, websites are there. So if you see here, this Sci-Hub, it is especially to download research papers. But again, all the papers you cannot download. To, let us say, 70% or 60% of papers easily we can download by using this Sci-Hub link. And similarly, next one is if you want to download any books, also we can do from here. But again, there are some restrictions. We cannot download all the books. Again, 60% of books and 70% of books easily we can download. Normally, if we do search in directly in Google, we cannot get that. But when we use these websites, easily we can get those books or papers. And the next one here is Shodh Ganga. So this is especially launched in our India. What the institutions are going to do is, once a researcher has completed the PhD, then they are going to upload their entire thesis in this website. And it is a mandate that every institute has to upload their researchers' PhD work into that too in terms of thesis, not the research articles. They have to upload all their thesis. And these are some of the references. So before that, I just wanted to
reminder mute. Unmute this one.
Are you able to see this PDF screen here?
Hello, good evening, Rajesh sir.
Rajesh.
There are queries from the participants.
వెళ్ళాలి బటన్స్ ద్వారా ఓకే అప్పు
Am I audible? Sir? Am I audible, Rajesh, sir? Can I ask the queries from the behalf of the participants? Hello, sir.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. Yeah, just 2 minutes, ma'am, and then we can go for the queries.
Okay, okay.
So usually, what kind of things that are needed when we go for abstract writing? Are you able to see my screen? Are you able? Hello? Are you able to see my screen? Hello?
No, sir.
Hello, Rajesh, sir.
Are you able to see my screen, ma'am?
Zoom cloud meeting.
No, sir, we can't see.
No, sir.
No.
I think it's.
Refresh the
Yeah.
sharing, sir.
Yeah, I am doing that. Now, is it visible now?
Yeah, now it's visible.
Yeah.
Sir.
So I just wanted to, highlight what kind of points that are required when we want to, present our article. So especially, yeah. So when we are writing an article here, abstract is the first and foremost thing. By looking at the abstract itself, we will be able to know whether the work that has done is an appropriate or not. So how we have to address the abstract. So I have given some of the points here. Like the first one is we need to touch on what exactly we have done. That is nothing but, ice breaking points, and what kind of research gap that you have addressed, and how your study has been proposed. And also you can briefly address your results. So everything should be in not more than 250 words. So that's how you have to prepare your abstract. After the abstract, then you are going to have the keywords. Then you will be having the various keywords. And then next one is introduction. So in the introduction also, you should not discuss too much about the history of your the discipline. Let us say big data. So you should not discuss too much on big data history, and there are 4 V's are there. All that is not required. What is volume and what is vector, all that are not required when you are going to discuss on big data problems. So you have to address clearly what kind of gaps and what kind of drawbacks are there. And then next one, it goes with literature review. You have to address especially the latest articles, the recent articles. You should not, you should not select an article which is published in 2010. So you need to select the works which are done recently. Let us say 2019 or 2018, not more than 2 to 3 years. And then next one here is you need to prepare a table also in such a way that what kind of pros and cons and what kind of features that the previous researchers have done. So when you are working in IoT, what are the previous methodologies that they have used, and what kind of algorithm they have used, and what is the drawback, and what kind of strengths. So that you have to address. This is a sample table I'm giving here. So accordingly, you can address your issues with the previous works. And then you have to explain about the background, whatever the equations that you are using or what kind of setup that you are using, everything you can do in the section 3. And also you can address the algorithms here and the flow charts, whatever, but everything should be appropriate and everything should be legible. So if a conference is saying like only 6 papers, or sorry, only 6 pages, then you have to finish your entire work in that 6 pages. So accordingly, you can do this. And then results and discussions. Probably 4th section or 5th section you can have, where you can discuss with the related and necessary graphs. And then you can go with the conclusion. Even in the conclusion also, you should not discuss too many things. In the conclusion also, you can also have one more section as future scope. So after your work, again, what the other researchers can take from your work and what they can do also, you can represent or you can describe in 2 to 3 lines, which is nothing but future scope. And after that, you have to go for the references. So if you see the references, as I mentioned, Google Scholar. So Google Scholar, if you go, whatever the paper which you wanted to work, one second. Let us say I will be focusing on now blockchain review. So here you can see since 2020, you can get the articles. Or if you want only since 2019, accordingly, you can see the list of articles. And again, you have to check which article is appropriate. So you have to find out the journal. So that's how you can do that. And then next one is Here I'm just showing you an example of mine itself. So where I have citations as of now like 133 and then H index is 7. So what is this H index means? So the number of papers, let us say this paper is being cited by 15 papers, 15 different articles. And similarly, this one is 15. So this is the year where it is published and these are the number of citations that this particular paper got. Now, if you see I-10 index means 7. So nothing but I-10 index means whatever the number of publications that I am having, out of which how many publications are having more than 10 citations. Now it is showing us 7 here. So if you see this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So till here it is 10. So accordingly it is going to give 7. And after that I don't have any more than 10. So that's how this I-10 index is. And H index already I have shown in the presentation. So this is how we can do all that. And yeah. And thank you. And yeah, probably if any questions or queries related to today's talk or maybe any other doubts which you have, please.
Sir, on behalf of the participants, I'm going to ask a query, sir. The first question goes like this. There are a lot of journals which are free and recognized by UGC. Can we publish papers in such journals? Are they valid for PhD?
That is what, ma'am, as I mentioned, there are n number of
So
journals
shall I
which
repeat
are... No, that's fine. I can understand the question. So the query which one of the doubt which the people are having is there are n number of journals. Yeah, I too agree. And all those journals are very well recognized, let us say, with UGC. But again, I am saying here, there are some journals, even though they are not recognized with UGC, but then they are going to keep the title as UGC. Just by looking at that, blindly we should not submit. Blindly we should not submit. So we have to, that's why I am saying, better go with Scopus index journals. Scopus index journals. Forget about the UGC recognized journals. Leave that. So don't go with UGC recognized journals because even we used to get, Any other queries?
Okay, thank you, sir. Shall I go for the second question?
Yeah, please,
yes, sir. Yearly, sir, many journals have a yearly issues, half-yearly issues, quarterly issues. So which journal is the best among them?
That is what here, it's a good question. But again, you have to aim for what is your work, whether we will be knowing, right? As a researcher, we will be knowing how much of work that we have done. We should not aim, even though we have done a simple work, but we should not aim for a better journal. So when you say like, I prefer the best journal means when it has less issues, less volumes.
Okay, thank you, sir. One of the participant name is Uday Kumar. His question goes like this. In social science, survey-based research comes under which type of research?
In social science?
I want to know the difference between exploration. Sir, I repeat it. In social science, survey-based research comes under which type of research? And he wants to know the difference between exploration and descriptive research.
Yeah. Here, for the first, whatever Uday has asked here, whatever he asked about social science review research and all that, I have no idea on that, please, because I'm not belongs to social science discipline. So I cannot answer that. Now the next one is whatever exploratory research, and then another one,
descriptive research.
Yeah. So when you go with exploratory research, we are exploring the ideas according to the research what we have done or what the other researchers have done. But whereas descriptive research is only limited, we are not going for any experimental results. So it is more or less like whatever we are studying in the textbook and how we are going to take the class in the. We are not going to give any innovative solutions. So that is what all about explorative research and then descriptive research.
So one more question, sir. Can you mention the journals for the common search articles?
Common? No, okay, repeat please.
Research articles.
Commerce.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I don't have idea on that because, as I mentioned, I'm completely from computer science discipline. Maybe I can
Okay, sir.
check. I can check. I can
from...
check, and then I can let you know later.
Okay, sir. So one more question from Ashka. He wants to know from where we can document notes regarding concepts of research.
Your voice is up and down.
UGC said.
No, your voice is not clear. It's getting up and down.
Sir, is it now clear, sir?
No, it's completely up and down.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah. Tell me now.
Where to get documents and the notes?
Documents and? Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Now it's
am
clear.
I audible now?
Yeah, now it's clear. Yeah.
Sir, there is a query from Ashoka. He wants to know where to get the documents and the notes regarding the concepts of research aptitude in UGC NET and AP set, sir.
UGC?
And AP set.
Concepts of research.
Research aptitude.
Research aptitude.
Yeah.
So in order to prepare for NET, something like that?
Yeah.
So it's better to go with the materials related to what they have studied, because they are not going to focus anything related to research. Because as the entrance test for NET and whatever other competitive exams are there, they will not be focusing much on research domain. They will be focusing on only on the subjects what they have studied in their masters and then bachelors.
One more questions from Deepthi Christos Rebecca, sir.
Yeah.
How is our resume is weighted? Is it by journals or by conference or by book chapter?
No, always better go with journals, that too SCI journals, or the next option is conferences which are from A+.
And
most likely in our India, especially when IITs are organizing, even they are not coming under A+ conference. Very few will be organized in India. So it's better to go with A+ conferences and journals.
Okay, sir. Thank you. And one more question is, what are the to remember while framing a title of the research paper?
Again, ma'am, what is?
What are the do's and don'ts we need to remember while
framing
a title of a research paper?
All right. So here you need to be more specific about what kind of work that you have done and what is the algorithm that you have used. Let us say, I can say that, I cannot mention simply a technique like review. Sorry. So I cannot simply specify like blockchain using machine learning algorithm. I should not make simply like this, blockchain using machine learning algorithm. So what I need to do here is, what is the machine learning algorithm that I am using and what kind of improvising that I am doing in the blockchain. So I can say that a blockchain, improvised blockchain methodology using supervised, not even supervised, so improved blockchain methodology using support vector machine or using neural network. So we have to be more specific what the algorithm that we are using and what the work that we have done in the paper.
So one more question is from Dr. Sunita. In a single paper, how many authors are there? Is it same value is given for all the authors?
No, usually when you look at whatever performance metrics that are all there, the first author and the corresponding author will be having more weightage. First author or corresponding author. These two authors will be having more weightage than the other positions. Even if we see, in the impact factor slide I have shown, that Nature journal is having 41.7 impact factor. That some papers are even published with more than 60 authors. You will be surprised to know that more than 60 authors are there in a single article. But the more preference will be given for the first author or the corresponding author. Try to limit the number of authors, like maximum of 3 to 4 or at max 6, if the journal is good. Because when the journal is good, absolutely, people are required to work. Only single person, whatever they are going to do, it is not possible to end up.
Sir, in the last question, sir, it is from M. Shravan Kumar Reddy. The question goes like this: how much time it will take to accept the paper in SCI journal?
Okay. In SCI journal, it takes a minimum of 4 to 8 months. Minimum, it will take 4 months, a very minimum.
Okay, thank you, sir. On behalf of all the participants, I thank you, Rajesh, sir, for answering the queries and clarifying the doubts with all your patience. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
Now it's time for vote of thanks. I request Armili Devi to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of Computer Science Department, St. Joseph Degree College, Kurnool. Over to Armili.
Thank you, Rajni ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I feel immense pleasure to be a part of this valuable and useful FDP. I deem it a great privilege to represent vote of thanks at the successful completion of the FDP. At the outset, I would like to express my sincere gratitude and thanks to Dr. Rajesh Kalluri, Senior Assistant Professor, for accepting our invitation to be a resource person to the FDP on exploring the facts in writing a research article. Sir, really your deliverance on the topic is very much useful for the faculty as well as scholars, and we are very much thankful for valuable guidance. We're really happy to keep different types of research. Your motivating words that even a student can publish and how to choose domain, general, conference, book chapter really benefit us all the steps and publish a research paper. Really, the presentation is fully with enriched information. I also convey my heartfelt thanks to our senior principal, Vice Shaurilu Reddy Madam, Dr. Shanta Madam, Principal of the College, and Vice Principal, Dr. C.V. Satyanarayana Sir, and Lata Rani Madam, HOD of Computer Science, for organizing this FDP with great support in each and every step to make it successful one. As no program can become successful with single person. So I thank the people of computer department who worked behind the scene to make this event successful. Finally, I extend my big thanks to all participants for giving their valuable time and spending their time with us to make this FDP end up on a grand success. Thank you.
Thank you everyone, and hope everyone has got some kind of benefit from the session. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. It was indeed a very useful session. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Participants, the certificate will be sent to your mail within a week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay home, stay safe.
Stay home, stay safe.